Fall walleyes go through some predictable patterns every year. One of the better bites of the year occurs on the flats, and trolling minnow baits is a great way to target these fall fish. Here are Steve Panaz and North American Fisherman Managing Editor Kurt Beckstrom to show you this effective fall walleye tactic.
Kurt, I got a good fish. Right. I'm going to neutral here. Boy, he just slammed it. I got the 9S. That's for some reason I'm relaxed. It's one of my favorite baits. No, it's not.
How far back was it?
Well, I let her back a ways. I want to, with the outboard running, we're in such shallow water here. Got some weight to him, a little bit of. There he is.
Oh yeah.
Nice eye, huh? Boy, the water's getting clear here. There we go.
All right, look at there.
First one of the night. He's got some gross on his gill plate here. You know, trolling rapalas in the shallows has been a tradition here at Mille Lacs for as long as I can remember.
Forever, yep.
These little minnow baits are just dynamite on walleyes. You know, this is a full moon night, and I'm hoping that full moon will come up. I haven't seen it yet. I mean, you can see it's just getting dark out here, but I tell you what, if you're looking for a great pattern for catching lots of walleyes and big walleyes, trolling in the shallows at night, 6, 7, 8 feet over rocky shoals or sandbars, little rapalas like this are dynamite. I'm gonna throw him in the live well, Kurt. I'm gonna have some walleye tonight.
There you go.
Thank you. You know, trolling for walleyes at night is really one of the easiest things you can do. It's a real simple process. You take a bait, and this is the original rapala, number 11. You run a short leader up to a few split shot to help get these bait down in 6 to 8 feet of water. So what you need to do is you pull up on these shelves, and you want areas that are maybe 100 yards long or so, that's got rock or broken rock and a nice drop off right outside of it, and these walleyes will move up in here to feed. These fish are shallow because they're eaten, and these baits here mimic the forage that's in the lake. Here in Mille Lacs, the small perch are real common, but so are shiners and fatheads and that sort of thing. So that's what these baits will mimic. Troll slow, little rod sweeps. At times we'll have that bait move forward, and it'll give it just a little bit more action, and a lot of times that'll trigger strikes. The other nice thing about this is you've got a number of options on the way you tie the bait on. You can use a little swivel, and that'll give the bait a lot of freedom. Or what you can do is troll real slow, use like a trilene knot, and pull that knot down. My hands are cold. Pull that knot down so it rides like this on the bait. And what that does is gives it almost an exaggerated wobble. The bait's not moving that fast, and it's still a real subtle action, but it's a real dynamite bait for catching big walleyes at night. I'd fish the bait fairly far back, Kurt.
Oh, yeah, I've had it probably 75 to 100 feet behind the boat. Like you said, this is only like 7 to 9 feet of water here, probably.
Right, that fish came at 6.5 feet of water. We're in 7.5 right now, and we were going over a rock pile right there. So what we're going to do is just keep kind of going in and out here if we can find a pattern. Sometimes you find a little slot or a little rock pile or something where they just pound on, you know, every time you go over it, you get bit. You know, night fishing is one of those things that's really intimidating to a lot of people. And it can be difficult if you're not set up right. I like to come out with a couple lanterns so you got good light inside. You got to have a flashlight real handy. Sometimes a headlamp is real nice.
Those are very convenient, but the main thing, as we said before, is come out before it gets dark.
Yeah, you get a lay of the land, you get a feel for your partner, and you just get into the fishing mode a little bit easier than you do if you come out and just start trolling.
On many of our large walleye lakes, when the angle of the sun dips and water temps cool in the fall, walleyes move from main lake structure to shallower water to feed on perch and other bait fish. Predictably, they'll position near flats in deep water during the day and slide up on the flat to feed as soon as the light levels drop into their comfort zone.
You know, Kurt, I've used this pattern all over the upper Midwest, and you've used it over in Michigan and some other lakes. You finding the same sort of bite going on in those other waters?
It's almost identical. Every place I've did a lot of night fishing, rapalas, you know, skinny stick baits in the shallow water are the key, just like we were talking about. Fish might be scattered, they might be piled up on some sort of structure, but the main way to get them is trolling these stick baits. Here we go. Oh, there you go.
Good fish?
Feels like it.
I'm in neutral.
Feels a lot nicer than the other one.
Is it? 6.5 feet.
This is just about the same spot where we caught those first two.
Yeah, it is.
It's one thing about night fishing, though. You can't hardly see what's going on out there.
No, you can't tell how big the fish are until you get them up either.
There he is. Here we go.
Oh, God.
All right. Oh, man, look at there.
That thing's almost 5 pounds.
Look at that.
You get them on that 11 silver, or actually is that gold?
That's the gold.
That's that same bait you were using earlier.
Yep.
Hey, good job, my man.
That's the one thing about fishing at this time of year. If you really want to target big walleyes, you know this, the full moon period in September, October, November.
Why do you think they call it the harvest moon?
Oh,
I'll tell you what,
you
it's a big fish like this.
That is something.
He sure got this bait. You know,
well, he hit that, man.
We went over that 6.5 foot hump again.
It's the same spot where all these other fish have been coming from. We're pretty close anyway.
Good job, my man.
Nice.
You know what? I'm gonna go to a bigger bait.
I kind of thought you would.
I'm making that switch right now.
Boy, that water's cold. Hey, Steve, have you ever noticed when you're night fishing that you get the most action when the moon is close to the horizon, either just setting or just coming up?
Yeah, it seems to me if it gets too high, you just can't carry like a
there
fish.
You go.
You know, when it gets too high, I think it's just too bright. And like a pretty good fish, Kurt. I think it just gets too bright. It's almost like daylight. I think it blows them out of the shallows again. I've had my best fishing right when it's low on the horizon.
Just like a sunrise or a sunset, isn't it?
I think it is. You know, I really do.
Trying to stay deep. Can you just lead him right in?
Yep. He's barely hooked.
There you go.
All right.
Oh man, he is hooked right on the tail again, isn't he?
Yeah. You know what? I think it's ready to. I'm ready to call it a night.
It's a
kick catching nice walleyes like this.